Hi guys, so what I want to talk about in today's video is things I wish people knew about my cerebral palsy when they met me or interact with me. And I'm very good, because of the disability, of picking up how comfortable or uncomfortable people are around me. And I think if people knew these things, they wouldn't feel so awkward or tread on eggshells around me. So the first thing I'd say I wish people knew about me and my cerebral palsy and how it affects me is it doesn't affect me mentally. Like, I know for some people with my type of cerebral palsy it does, and because of my speech, because of mouth muscles, people may think it is, but it doesn't. And I often find that people are either quite patronising when they start talking to me, or they're really surprised when they find out what I do for a living. They go, "Oh, really? No? Oh, you're quite clever then." I wouldn't say I was clever. I've got no common sense whatsoever, but I know things about specific things. But I just think it annoys me when people think it affects me mentally, and I've seen people do it to other people, and people talk in front of me about me, people talk about me as if I can hear them, stuff like that. And I do call people out on it, and they do seem somewhat surprised that I do call them out on it, but then you can see the brain cogs tick over and realise what they've done. And after that, relationship with them is generally alright. It's just the initial meeting. Okay, the next thing I'd like people to know about my cerebral palsy is about how tired I get. And when I say I'm tired, I don't just mean I'm tired as in I need to have a nap. I mean I'm tired as in I am physically exhausted. I can barely keep my legs and my arms from just going, or that there's so much that I have to do to keep myself active until I get to a place where I know this is going to be my final destination. Then I can just completely crash, because it often happens when I get back from work because of the pain, the tiredness, the commute. I generally feel physically exhausted all the time, and sometimes I feel so tired that I giggle, or I feel so tired or exhausted that I'm actually too exhausted to sleep. Like, my muscles will not relax, my body will not relax. It's just so tight, so heavy that I can't fall asleep. And I think a lot of people underestimate how chronic fatigue affects those with cerebral palsy, because even though it's not part of the main condition, it is, I wouldn't say it's a side effect, well, technically it is a side effect. It's sort of the effect that cerebral palsy has on your body, how your muscles move, how much effort you have to put in. Is when I say I'm tired, I don't mean I'm just tired, I need a nap. I generally mean I'm tired, I need to leave now, otherwise I'm staying the night here because I'm not going to get there. I often overdo it. I know I overdo it, and sometimes I know I should stop or think I should go home now while I can get home, but I'm stubborn and I don't like giving in to it. I mean, people tell you to be positive about your disability. I don't really like that. There's no point in being over positive about it. It's something that affects you. You're going to have to deal with it your whole life. Don't just say, "Oh, look at all this, it's just me." No, you've got to have some negativity around it and some positivity around it to balance it out. And I know people, when you're young, you're taught to be really positive about your disability, focus on things you can do rather than you can't. But there is a point in life where you need to focus on the things you can't, because you are ignoring those, or you are just sort of putting them off and then not realising the side effects. And as I'm getting older, I mean, I'm only 24, but I feel like I'm in a 90-year-old's body. It is getting more and more tiring doing day-to-day activities, like just sort of hanging out the washing on an air once it's been in the washing machine. That's tiring for me. Even walking from like my car, which is literally right outside, to my front door is tiring. Most of the time when I get in these days, I just stop and I crash. I don't even eat. Sometimes I forget to take my shoes off, or not forget, I know my shoes are on. I'm too tired to move. I've fallen asleep or literally crashed sitting up with my neck like that with shoes still on because I physically couldn't do anymore. Okay, the next thing I wish people would know about my cerebral palsy is I'm not gonna break if you want to do banter or jokes about it. I'm quite open to that. I tell them about myself, I do them about myself. And it's fine, it's nice, it gives a nice air around it, because if you can't laugh at yourself, you can't really be happy with having the disability that you've got. You need to know that it does affect you, but if you can do banter, there's a difference between banter and joking and being cruel about it. There is a line, but I'm not going to break if you joke about it. For example, at work the other day, I was telling them about the time at the weekend just gone that I fell down the stairs, nearly scared my girlfriend to death because it was quite a big bang. Falling down the stairs happens quite a lot to me now. It's probably why I've got tons of bruises, but I just get up and go. But yeah, I was telling them about that, and then one of my colleagues, he was like, yeah, she was saying she was going on a trip. We didn't know she meant that sort of trip. And I like that sort of laughter and jokiness. And it was actually one of the things my girlfriend did on our first date. So she knew that not to be awkward about it, and it's one of the reasons why I love her and why we hit it off on our first date. So there we go. And I guess the next thing I want to talk about is, or want you to know about my disability, is that I know I walk like I'm drunk. And depending on how tired, how wobbly I am feeling that day, it can differ from like just look a bit tipsy to, ooh, she really shouldn't be outside right now. And I don't know what it is. People don't seem to think I am aware of how I walk. I know I walk drunk. I know I can't walk in a straight line. I know I take ages to walk. Yet people seem to think I'm not aware of how I walk, that it's different than from everyone else. I don't know where they get that from, because I know I walk differently from everywhere else. Because most people's knees don't cross over when they walk. Most people can not forget to leave their foot that they can't feel very well behind and just drag it. I know I can't walk very well. I know I walk drunk. I'm not drunk. I don't drink, not for moral or religious or high morality reasons. I just haven't found anything that I like yet. And I'm not going to drink stuff that I don't like. And I know most people don't drink alcohol for the taste, but even so, I am going on an all-inclusive cruise next year, and as part of that we've got like all-inclusive drinks. So I think me and my sister are gonna spend the day at a cocktail bar and just order as much as we can and just try different drinks out, different things like that. So that'll be good. And I guess the last thing I wish people knew about my cerebral palsy is that I know it's a thing, and it's my thing, and I've dealt with it my whole life, so please don't feel like you have to go out of your way to accommodate me. If I need some help, I will ask for it. If I don't need help, I will tell you. And there are some times I know, because my cerebral palsy, it does make me stubborn. I don't like taking painkillers or putting on anything, or I don't even like working from home when I know I need to, because to me it feels like I'm giving it into it. But just that's my own stubbornness, and sometimes I feel people just, I'm not sure what to do when I say these things, and I know how it affects me. If something's going to bother me, I will tell you. If it's not going to bother me, I can also tell you if you ask me. But generally, when you grow up and you live with a disability, you know how it affects you. You get used to speaking up when you need to, even if, like me, you've got social anxiety. And you will tell people if you can't or can do something, or if it's going to take you a bit longer. And I know, I don't know, this message here, I guess, is for other disabled people, that it is alright to ask for help sometimes when you need it, even on those bad days, even a good day. Because being with your disability, you always find ways around things to do things, but there are sometimes there are things that if you ask someone else to do them, you'll conserve a lot less energy. They're probably done a bit quicker, and I am still learning to do that. I am still learning that I need to ask for help. I need to sometimes just let other people do a small thing for me, so I have more energy to do the thing I want to do later. And yeah, I know I'm stubborn, and I know I overdo it, and I think it's just going to take me a while in my head to get around that. Because I'm starting to, like, there's a meeting room at work where the door is like really heavy, like can't even put my back into it, open it that way. And it was a little while before I was feeling quite insecure about it, where I always walk with someone else, and I tried to make sure someone else was going to the same meeting as me. But there are times now where I go to meetings and other members of my team aren't there, because I've got enough knowledge and confidence by myself to know what I need to say at this meeting, that they don't need another resource from our team, just me. But it took me a little while to get up the courage to ask one of my colleagues if he could just walk with me to the meeting room so he could open the doors for me, because otherwise I would have been stuck outside and been late for that meeting. And I think that's what I wish people to know. I wish people knew that I knew how stubborn I am, how much it's, I wouldn't say hurt, but how much it takes me to ask for help when I need to, because I like being independent. Because at the moment I'm young, but as I get older, because of cerebral palsy, I am going to need more help. I am probably not going to be able to walk all my life. So I've just got to accept that if I can ask people to do small things for me, that they will make my life easier in the long run, or at least I'll have a bit more energy to do something nice later instead of just crash when I get home and go to sleep. Yeah, so I think it's just about accepting that I do need help, but I just would like people to know how much it takes for me to ask someone that I need help, because I like doing things, I like my own independence where possible. But I'm still learning that, and that's more of a me thing rather than other people. But sometimes I did wish people knew how much it takes for me to ask people for help for those sorts of simple things, like even asking for a glass of water, because if I went to the kitchen, which is at the other end of the building, there would be no water left in my glass by the time I've got back to my desk. And I am getting more comfortable doing it. Now I feel that there are certain people I can ask and they will do that for me, and it won't seem like I'm asking them to go out their way. So stuff like that, yeah. And this, I just want to let you know about a couple of video ideas that I've got that will be in my next video. So I want to tell you about my top trips that I've had because of all this heatwave summery weather we've been having in the UK recently. Not a big fan of summery weather myself, but even so. I also wanted to do one about the top 5 things that I've learnt to do despite my cerebral palsy, and I'm really proud that I can do them myself. As well as I'm going to be doing some more sim videos. I did do a live stream on Sunday, wasn't planned. I just thought, oh, I'm going to spend like an hour on a game. I could stream it because then it would at least seem semi-productive. I think I'm also going to do a Tomb Raider Let's Play because I've been getting back into that again. And I might also do a Vampire Masquerade one when I figure out installing all the patches and stuff like that. And is there anything you'd like me to talk about in terms of my cerebral palsy, my disability, being a goth, programming, anything like that? Just let me know and I'll talk about it. See you next time. Thanks for watching.